Afternoon, this is Pam with Follow Your Brush. I was playing today and I thought, let me just do a video and take you along with me, show you what I'm trying to do. I have challenged myself to do a scene of sky, mountains, and then the foreground is trees that are closer. But my challenge to myself was to do it with just one color, varying the amount of hue and value with water rather than adding pigment. This was the tray that I was using, and as you can see, I'm not super happy with this one. So I thought part of my problem was is that I did not actually try to do some values ahead of time and see how they're going to come out. The color that I was using was indigo from Michael Harding. And I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to try to do a little better job of prepping myself in my color values. All right, this is the indigo with a lighter value. I added water. Let me go back up into this puddle here where it's a little bit darker. See, there you go. Same pigment, just varying the water amount, a little bit darker. Actually, the colors that I do want for my sky is even lighter than that. So let me see what I can do. Just using the same exact pigment, but coming in a little bit lighter. That's actually a little better, especially for a sky. Add a little bit more. And see if I can get a little darker. This is such an important skill. And I think personally, I often just overlook the importance of it, maybe. I know that it's important, but I don't take the time to really work on it like I properly should. Let's try this again. This time let's go from dark. There's my darker. And dab it on my paper towel. A little bit lighter. That's good. Dab it again. Lighter still. A little bit of water. Dab, dab on my paper. Lighter still. Dab, dab. Even lighter. So now let me go see if I can go backwards. Start light. That's really light. Oops. Okay, so we got light, light. Let me add a little bit, get it darker. This is important to know when you're painting, especially if you're working with values. Values, they say that color tells the story, but what is it? I got that backwards. We think that colors tell the story, but actually it's a value that packs the punch. It's go from dark to light with our values, and it's important for me to be able to recognize and see those darker values and when to use them. And I'm just not always attentive to that. And that's what I was attempting to do with this painting. But I actually really got too carried away. We talk about different consistencies in our paint of tea, butter, and milk. Maybe not necessarily in that order. If it's super watery, like this is, that's your tea. That's your tea, and you're going to get your lightest value and hue with that. If we want that a little thicker, a little darker, I'm going to add some pigment straight from my pan here. These Michael Harding paints are quite pigmented. So there you go. That is much thicker. This is more of the milky consistency. See that compared to the tea? So this is going to be much darker. Now to go from that to get my lighter values, because this brush holds a lot of water, we just keep coming out here. And let's just add some more water to that. So we've got the tea, we got the milk, and this brush just goes on forever. This is my Levinson brush. It just holds the water so beautifully. You see that? Now that was a nice transition in my colors. Butter is going to be super thick. See that? That is super dark. That is like straight pigment. Let me add some water to this and let's thin this out. Now see, I added a little bit too much water. Go back to my pigment here. And let's bring this out. So this is what I'm attempting to do in this painting, is to go get the sky from the lightest, and then the next layer a little darker, the next layer a little darker, and then the front layer is the darkest yet. This, I would say, is probably my best row right here in attempting that. This was a nice graduation here too. Because I have so much water in here, this is all running. But let's see what we can do again. There's a darker value. Dip in my water, tap, tap. My brush, a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. Tap, tap. A little bit lighter. A little bit lighter. So now my goal for myself is to be able to transfer this information into my painting. I've always kind of dreaded value studies. It's just difficult. Now look, as this dries, these are almost the same. So that I did not really achieve well. This one is a nice row. This went darker, lighter. And this is my tea, butter, and then my milk is actually, should be this thicker like this. So each has its place. So you've got the darker, and then we're going to go lighter. And then lighter still. That's why sometimes you see people when they do their swatching, you'll see them actually do their swatches from dark to light, and then they will also come back and try the wet on wet and see how it's going to vary and how it lifts. I already know that these Michael Harding paints lift extremely well. If you'd like to see that, let's see, this is dry. Come in here, add some water. See what we can do to lift that off. There's some lifting there. Try this one here. This is not quite as dry. Get more lifting there. And of course this is still wet. So that gives you an idea too what you can do with your paint. See how this one lifts here, because that's pretty much dry. Yeah, it lifts. Dry my brush a little bit. Let's try this one. So this is an important lesson, even though I try to avoid it because I just kind of have a tendency of wanting to just get in there and paint right away. But I'm not getting quite as much lifting because it's lighter in color. A little bit more there. This is what I just put on there. But it's important to know, it's important for me to know, important for you to know as you paint, how we can use our colors. Go for darker, adding more water, lighter, and lighter. And then when we do a painting like this, we won't be quite as confused as I was when I did it. Can go from the light to the dark. Actually, what I could have done on this painting, if I had thought about it, I could have just done a whole wash of the light, let it thoroughly dry, and then come back in with my different layers like I did on this. Might have been more effective. But that's all I'm going to share with you for the moment. Hope you're having a great day, and I thought I'd just let you play with me for a minute and see what I'm doing. Thanks for following Pam, and follow your brush, like and subscribe if you so desire. Thanks so much. Bye.